Okay, so let's come to an open question as shown here. Do we really need to use a sequence model to capture the patterns in the sequential patterns in the inputs, not the documents? Before we say it is yes, right, when we design the recurrent neural nets, this is according to our prior knowledge or prior experiences. We may need to capture the patterns in the inputs so we can learn the patterns from the input data, for learning the representation or learning the outputs, right? In deep learning, normally we have people from different backgrounds or different areas. Some of them they will have very weird questions. This weird will be quartered, right? It seems to be weird. However, some of such questions will create some insight for, thinking about this kind of problems, right? Do we really need to have the sequence models or not? So, to illustrate the ideas, or the answer for yourself, we show you with a series page. You can read these sentences in this page. Because I only know English and Chinese, so I just select these two as example into these two languages. And if you know some other language, you can help check if it is true or not in some other language as well. So as shown here, according to a research at Cambridge University, it doesn't matter in what order the letters are in a word are. The only important thing is that the first and last letters can be at the right place. Then the rest can be a total mess, and you can still read it without a problem. This is because the human mind doesn't read every letter by itself, but the word as a whole. And at the bottom part, it is in Chinese, and it is also saying the same thing actually. The word order doesn't matter in Chinese neither. So if you check this word carefully, you find that the order they are all messed up. However, we will still be able to read it, and we can understand what they are saying there, right? It is very interesting. According to our prior knowledge, we say that sequence order will be very important. However, when it comes to the concrete language, some of the language, the word order doesn't really matter actually. If we switch the characters inside a word, or if we switch two words, it doesn't really change the meaning of these sentences. Then you can ask yourself again, does it really matter, to capture the sequential orders in the sentences or not? Right? So also according to the previous discussion in the previous part on the recurrent neural nets, we also discussed how to build a recurrent neural nets, in a sequential order to capture the word orders. So we also mentioned learning this kind of models will also be very expensive. At the same time, we may also suffer from some problems like creating, evaluation, and exporting problems. Then the question comes, since this word order will not affect the readings, do we still need to incorporate these word orders in the learning of the model? Is it necessary or not? You can ask yourself, right? And similar question has been proposed by researchers as well. So do we really need to capture these patterns in learning the representation for the input or not? This is also the question we are studying in the following part. So for the following part, we will discuss one model is called transformer. So in this transformer model, we just discussed this kind of sequential order, this information in the input data actually. And it will not affect the learning results at all.